Hey guys, this is Arif from TechShare. Today I am going to show you guys how to apply the personalization or how to create a personalization in your headless solution. Um, it is really important to understand the whole concept, right? So this personalization will not be able to apply to your XM Cloud. So it is only for JSS application when you are using Sitecore XP and also the JSS headless solution on top of Sitecore XP. Then what will happen is you could potentially use the capabilities of XP, and then you could apply those different personalization rules and render your personalized content. So I'm going to share a very sort of basic um, personalization journey. Yet it is not very basic, but very important as well. So um, let me tell you how I am going to do that, or what I already achieved here. So see here, this is a sample website I'm just running. It's a JSS application, which is that one. You can see here a very basic sort of application where I have some bunch of components and things like that configured. Now, if I go to a site called, page called student home, so I have created a page called student home. Now, the idea here is I want to show or render some customized or personalized rendering here on top of this our category page here. Now, the rules I have set, or I want to achieve, so in the student home, assume that you have couple of pages where you really expect the international student will come and visit, or certain categories of student will come and visit. Now, if your contact or the person who is visiting your website, goes those different pages, then you might create some sort of profiling under the hood that will tell you that this user or contact is most likely to be a international sort of student user, or this kind of user or profile of international student. So you can calculate that one. So that's the nice thing of you know configuring such thing called profiling. So if you could potentially, or your system or Sitecore identifies that okay, this contact is most likely a certain profile, or and then based on that profile you can basically render some personalized rendering. So now here, see, you cannot see anything here on top of this our category rendering. But now, what will happen if I go to some other pages? Like I know there are pages like I have created some pages here. Let me see the name. I forget the name, but yeah. So there is an international student page here. So I can see international page here I have created, and this page is rendering correctly with some content. I have set sort of a predefined content, and likely to be so you put some content relevant to that obviously page, and obviously student or the people will do some interaction here, isn't it? And now let me go to the home page again and see here this rendering, which was not previously present, is rendering here. This our awesome product with K2, something like that, and some rendering. So idea is, you would personalize some content based on that behavior, and it is coming here now. So now I'll show you how I did achieve that thing, right? So it's not only that, even you could follow some other path, or your profile or contact means the person who is visiting your website can do some other interaction. Based on that, you could change this one to some other thing. So based on the behavior that you potentially get from your contact, your content will also follow that. So that is basically the idea. It sounds really crazy, right? Because if you could do that one, basically you can control everything in your website in terms of personalization. And this is basically the magic, or very hardcore kind of requirements you can see. Or you could see almost every website has this kind of capabilities nowadays through the AI. So here we are not actually getting the help from the AI, but we are getting help from the Sitecore XP, has this kind of built-in kind of capabilities. So let me tell you how could I did that thing here, and that is basically the important part, right? So before that, before achieving this kind of behavior, what you need to understand is the profiling. Profiling is very important. Profiling means you need to create your profile. So let me see how could I do that. So here in that system marketing control panel, you see there is a section called profile. So what I did here is I have created a profile called students. And now here there are a couple of things. The very important thing is the type. So here I said that, hey, the type is sum. What does that mean is any engagement that your certain contact is going to get or achieve or execute any engagement every time he does, or he visits some area or some pages where you define um, some engagement value. So the aggregation rule will be applied here as a sum. So every time it will sum. So I'll explain that on. Don't worry about that one. Now under this student profile, what I have done here is I have created a couple of profile keys. So here is the international keys, and it has a value max value 10. This is very important thing. So what I am doing here is under this profile I have created a couple of profile keys. So one is international, and that could be local, and that could be some other, like, whatever you like to categorize your different profile. uh, you would create there, and then that's all here. The next thing is, once your profile is created, then you need to apply this profile to your contents, from where Sitecore will understand what to do for a certain context. What I mean by that is, since your profile is done, then what I did is you need to go here. I mean, maybe you will have couple of different pages. For example, this student home pages, there is a little button on the right. This is basically the profile where you could potentially assign your that profile key that you have just created. So here you see what I did here is I have, so whenever any people will visit this student home or any contact, then I assign this value for that particular contact. So I say it's most likely an international student. That's why I put a figure of 9. And then maybe that guy might also have intention to go to some other pages. So that's why, so this kind of weight that you are going to set, it is totally up to you, and you will do that based on your sort of business logic under the hood, and your sense you need to apply, right? um, so now once this is done, then yeah, you have to profile almost I mean all those different pages that you have, and you want this kind of validation, or sorry, this kind of rules to apply, or engagement to apply, that you want that sort of engagement value out of that particular contact. You need to do that. So for international, it is specifically international, so normally other student will not visit. So that's why you would see here again, this one, very high weight international profile key, has a very high weight, which is 8 out of 10. And then I could have put it like 0 here, but I just put like 1. So sometimes, there are other student might also visit there, so that's why. Then in the local, however, in the local student section, you would see I actually put a very high likely of having a local visit, like all of these are very high. And then international, I just put it 0, because no international student will visit this page, that I assume. Or even they visit, I will not get any engagement value from there. So once you have profile your content, then what will happen is, once your contact start visiting this website and start going there, then it will basically collect those engagement values, and it will aggregate them as a sum that I have defined before. So it will basically have some engagement value, right? So this engagement value will be applied for all those different contacts they are going to visit your website. And now the interesting part is the personalization rules. Where would you want to? So in your home page, or landing page, you could apply that, personalization rules, or you might have some personalized content that you want to display in your home page or any other pages that you like, really, because you already have the engagement value gathered in your system. You just need to apply them. So what I have done here is, in the student home, There is a presentation details, and then let me show you guys. This is the rendering I have used. This rendering could be anything that you like. So in the personalized, and so then see here, I have used a true false kind of rule. So any time if that certain rule is not applied, means please don't show this particular component, otherwise just display them kind of rules. So see here in the edit rules, what I have done is the current visitor matches the international student pattern. So now this is the one thing that is still we need to understand, what is international student pattern. um, and then I guess we will be able to solve everything. So now what is international student pattern? So let me tell you what is pattern. So let me go here again. So here I have created this student's profile, you remember, and there are two parts. One is profile card and is profile pattern card. Profile card is where you explicitly mention that, hey, I am expecting this engagement value, a fixed engagement value. So for example, you can say, hey, in profile card is a international student profile card where the international key profile key will be like, for example, 50, and then other is like 555, something like that. And then in your personalization rule, you can tell, hey, anytime or any contact where the profile card value of a student profile key greater than 50 or greater than 10, 20, whatever you like, then please do this thing or do that thing, switching this rendering or things like that. Or the pattern cut on the other hand is very interesting. So see here I have two pattern, international student pattern and local student pattern. International student pattern, what I have said here is that, hey, if um, if your engagement value of a certain contact is a value of international profile key 7 and this is 1, then most likely this profile or this contact is international students contact, okay, or profile. And then local, obviously you will have for local, obviously it would be greater, right? So let me put it like this way, um, that you want really, and then international student would be really low. So this kind of behavior, I mean, whatever you like basically. So now international student pattern means anytime if your profile has an engagement value of 7 of your international profile key, then it will be treated as an international student. So it will be most likely a visit of international student. So that's why what I have done here is, in the student home, in the presentation details, let me show you one more time, that will make sense now. um, Here, and then in the personalize, you could see here now. So I say, hey, your contact current visit, if it matches the student, international student pattern, so it could be like, 7 is the minimum, so it could go, so if the international student profile key always goes high, really high for the particular contact, then that pattern will be matched. Then use the in the yeah, in the student's profile. So then what will happen is, if that matched, then I said show that particular rendering that I am using at this moment, which is a um, rendering with this data source. So I also have changed the data source. By default, my component uses this data source. Now I use a certain other data source. What is the purpose for setting a different data source? Is basically you might want to add some extra data in your description or in your title or whatever the sort of property or field that you have for your data source. You might have a set of different data altogether, right? So that's why it is not only switching on off, but also having some customized data. So yeah, once that is defined, then I already showed you, like, this particular rendering, which was not initially displayed, now it comes, and the data is also changed. See here, the K2 data that was basically coming for a certain, that is specific data source I have used with some customized title. So yeah, I guess that's all for the customization. In terms of your JSS side, you really don't need anything to do. So it would be just simple a component, but every magic is happening on the Sitecore side where you are using the presentation details and creating your personalization rules. So yeah, I mean, it will work in your JSS application as well as in your MVC, typical MVC rendering. So yeah, that is a good thing, right? So you could use JSS application in XP platform, and then you could apply this kind of personalized contact-based personalization. But again, if you use XM, it is still possible, right? To apply the personalization, but you will not get all those contact related rules. So you will get some, other defined XM related rules. So the personalization capabilities will be so limited, but still you could apply. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. Hope you enjoy this. And if you have any question, guys, let me know in the description. If you like this video, then just give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll chat you very soon in the next video. Chat you soon. Bye bye.